You're watching BBC Two Newsnight now with Eddie Mayer in London and Gavin Esler in New York.
Another night in captivity for hundreds in the school siege in North Ossetia. Freedom for a tiny handful of hostages, the threat to kill all the others remains. The UN tells Sudan's government, protect your people or we'll do it for you. But who's going to make them?
Here at the Republican Convention in New York, we're waiting for the big one, the president himself addressing the American people. He's been practicing already with one simple task: to win the election. And I'll be hearing from one of Mr. Bush's liveliest supporters, the boxing promoter, the one and only Don King.
We will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them in the air battles. We will fight them in the trenches, and we shall never, never surrender.
My mind say stop, my heart say go, my heart say kill, my mind say no.
And the lost music of the Clash, here tonight for the first time. When the legendary album London Calling by The Clash was released, there was trouble in Afghanistan, there was a Thatcher in the news, and BBC Two didn't have a proper news programme at night. So much has changed. Back then, The Clash were recording songs intended for their now legendary album London Calling, but thanks to a drunken roadie, the tapes of those first sessions were apparently lost on the London Underground. Since then, rumours have abounded about what exactly was on the tapes. Now, finally, the mystery has been solved, as songs from the sessions are to be released later this month. If you can't wait that long, don't worry, we have the world exclusive. Safia's Manzo reports.
This is London Calling.
With its instantly iconic album cover and apocalyptic title track, London Calling was the Clash's finest hour.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down.
Released 25 years ago, its 19 songs took in everything from punk and reggae to rockabilly, jazz and ska. And Joe Strummer sang not about anarchy in the UK, but nuclear wars and Brixton riots. No wonder fans described The Clash as the only band that mattered. But with the myth, there was also a mystery. For years there had been rumours of other songs dubbed the Vanilla Tapes, recorded for London Calling, but which had been lost. In the spring of 1979, the Clash gathered in the building behind me to record songs which would later be featured on their album London Calling. The sessions took place in the Vanilla Studios, hence the Vanilla Tapes. Britain has changed greatly in the last 25 years, and where once stood the Vanilla Studios, now stand offices of the Church of England. That the sessions took place was known, but it had been assumed that the tapes of what was recorded at the Vanilla Studios had been lost forever. As the legend of the album grew, the question of what happened to those missing songs became one of rock music's great unsolved mysteries. Hearing the songs became the holy grail for Clash fans. That was until this year.
I was moving house and I discovered these tapes. As you do, you know, you like sifting through boxes, and I saw these tapes and they were believed to be lost for, well, had been lost for the 25 years since we made the record, and the last time we'd heard them. I knew what they were immediately. And
the newly unearthed songs from the Vanilla Tapes are finally being released later this month on a CD to mark the 25th anniversary of London Calling. This is the first time they have been broadcast anywhere in the world.
I liked it because it sounded like there was people at work, you know, people working together, and it was like, by hearing the Vanilla Tapes, I could almost visualise the muddy brown carpet that was on the ceiling and walls to insulate the place. It all came back, you know, so it was quite a memory job.
by listening to these tapes, I think I find it fascinating myself to see how it like works in progress, and then you have alongside it the actual record proper, and then you can, it's fun to compare and almost see. And on some of the tracks of the demos, I can hear all the other parts that are not there. Because
also,
the way
like, lyrics were changed. And
lyrics were changed.
Variations, really, of songs. And also, there's quite a few songs that didn't even make the album, so...
In a strange twist of serendipity, the discovery of the Vanilla tapes came at the same time as the discovery of unseen writings and drawings by Joe Strummer, who died nearly 2 years ago. An exhibition featuring the typewriters he used, as well as letters from fans, concert set lists and original lyric sheets to Clash classics opens later this week in London.
We're both of the collecting nature, you know. I've always been a collector since I was very young, and sort of kept everything I could, like everything. And then when I saw Andy Warhol, I knew I was right to keep it, you know. And it's funny because I know that Joe has a big collection as well of like, I guess he has mostly the lyrics and I have mostly the music.
The Vanilla sessions were recorded in the dying days of the Callaghan government. London Calling was released 7 months after Margaret Thatcher entered Downing Street.
When they kick at your front door, how you gonna come?
A time of recession, racism and riots. Unlike other bands who emerged from punk, The Clash were about politics as well as posing, passion as well as fashion.
The reason London Calling was a breakthrough album is that it really broke the narrow confines that punk had become. I mean, very early on they sort of painted themselves into a corner, and I think the Clash were the first band to realise that the world didn't end at the bottom of their street.
It was very much of its time, and the references are very topical. But the Clash mean as much now as they did then. I mean, they were talking about terrorism, they were talking about American imperialism. They were talking about issues that are really hot today. I mean, they're almost visionary in that respect.
So, still relevant and 25 years on, still surprising us with new material. With the release of the Vanilla tapes, one of rock's great mysteries has finally been solved. Well, almost. Because Mick Jones still has many more boxes of tapes with unreleased recordings. Sadly for fans, he doesn't seem in any hurry for a rummage.
Are you going to try and make an active attempt to try and find out what other treasures you've got then, or are you just going to...
No, I'm going to make no attempt whatsoever to find, but when things turn up when they're supposed to.
And you can hear an exclusive clip of London Calling, the alternate version no less, on our website at bbc.co.uk/newsnight. Coming up on the programme...